Let us discuss the next question. This is from the year 2015. The ideal of welfare state in the constitution is enshrined in its preamble, B. DPSPs, C. Fundamental rights, D. 7th schedule. The correct answer here is B. Directive principles of state policy. The DPSPs are the certain directives which are given to the state, and the state has to keep in mind these directives, these suggestions while making the laws. They are mentioned in the part 4 of the constitution and from the articles 36 to 51. The fundamental rights and the DPSPs together constitute the basic philosophy of the constitution, and they are considered as the soul of the constitution. The DPSPs, they were borrowed from the Irish constitution. We had the instrument of instructions in the Government of India Act of 1935. The DPSPs are in similar to the instrument of instructions we had in the Government of India Act of 1935. Article 37 clearly says that the DPSPs are the fundamental in governance of the country, and it shall be the duty of the state to apply these principles while making the laws in the country. Ultimately, when you establish and follow the DPSPs, it will lead to a socio-economic democracy in the country. DPSPs thus embody the concept of a welfare state where the government is working for the welfare of the people, and the DPSPs are non-justiciable, that is, they are not legally enforceable, and if the government doesn't implement them, you cannot go to the court, and even if they are violated, you cannot go to the court. Let us discuss the next question. Which part of the Constitution of India declares the ideal of welfare state? So this is a repeated theme again, and the very question on the welfare state has appeared. So it is there in the DPSP, the fundamental rights, the preambles, and the 7th schedule. So the idea of welfare state is mentioned in the DPSPs. You know, the fundamental rights talk about various rights that are there for the citizens, and the preamble gives the overall philosophy of the constitution, and the 7th schedule contains various lists that are there in the constitution. So now let us look at the in-depth explanation. Part 4 of the constitution contain the DPSPs. The directive principles of state policy, as the name suggests, they are the directives which are to be followed by the state, that is the government, when they are making their policies. They are also known as the instrument of instructions, which were there in the Government of India Act 1935, because they give certain directives to the government which has to be followed while making the law, and it is borrowed from the Irish constitution. And when the fundamental rights led the idea of a political democracy, the DPSPs lay down the idea of a social and economic democracy in the country. So the DPSPs have the concept of welfare state because of the various provisions, and they do not promote anything such as a police state. Now, what is a police state? Police state is a state, the government where the government is having too much control, too much repression, political repression, economic repression, too much control on the people, not allowing people too many liberties. So a controlling state is a police state. The DPSPs embody an idea of welfare state for the India, and it is not separately justiciable in a court of law, that is, they are not legally enforceable unless a particular law is made to enforce that particular DPSPs. And the Article 38(1) clause 1 very clearly says that the state shall strive to promote the welfare of the people by securing and protecting effectively as it may a social order in which the justice, social, economic, and political shall inform all the institutions of the national life. So that is why DPSPs have the idea of welfare state. So A is the correct answer for this question.